So while the viewers took care of the hard, factual aspects of going live, Philip Schofield was left to indulge his ridiculous James Bond fantasies. You all right down there, Phil?
Shouldn't I have gloves on? I'm sure I should. It's not very dignified, Vince, is it?
I'll shoot you one hole, just that one.
That's fast. There's a big wake here. Oh! Ah, there's the first marker. I broke 2 powerboat records. I have the certificates I've got at home now in my little cabinet, signed by Princess Anne, sitting on a what was called, I think the boat was called
The results for Philip Schofield, average 42.98, a new world and national record.
Oh, he's a clever boy.
I think we've always been very lucky on a Saturday morning with our presenting team, from Swap Shop with Noel and Keith and John, and all the way through to last series of Live and Kicking with Andy and Emma. And I think that's been a strength of the programme. But there have also been some combinations that haven't been so apparent, so obvious, that I've enjoyed. For example, Philip and Emma's cooking.
I sort of targeted going live as my dream show I would like to get on, and I basically plagued the editor, Chris Bellinger, with a lot of letters and show reels and 52 ideas that I would bike round to him at the drop of a hat. And he very kindly one day just saw me out of the blue and said, I have 2 presenters, what could you do on my show? And off the top of my head, I kind of went, cookery? And he said, 6 minutes next Saturday and we'll see if it works.
Thank you, I have driven a train.
Sorry.
I do know how to work a whisk.
Sorry, forgot how good you were. Now, that's a little bit slower, Philip.
OK. No, it's out of control! How much longer is there? Haven't we got a lot more to do?
Yeah.
Have we?
Okay. Wait, no, we're near the end yet.
Oh, wait.
No.
We've got 30 seconds left.
30 seconds? Forget
It's all right, it's OK.
Forget it. Then I need some of this. What's happening?
My ring's come off!
No, leave that there. Put that on that.
Right.
OK? And mould it into the shape of a ball.
It got to the stage where Emma was asking me to do the impossible because she knew that it would fall apart. She knew that I couldn't accomplish the feat that I'd been asked to accomplish.
Philip, this is...
No, I will not give up! Get out of it, get out of it! It's supposed to go... Well,
No,
you didn't tip it over like that, no?
It's quite hot as well.
Oh, it's just come out of the oven! Next week, we're going to show you how to get the tin foil out.
Did you cook these, Emma?
I did, actually. Yes.
Oh.
She likes a nice... There were times when guests would be suggested and we would all feel, would they be right? Yeah, maybe, let's go with it. But I remember one time it was suggested that Barry Manilow come on the show, and I just thought, I can't see it. And this is a cool show.
Her name was...
Gordon the Gopher.
What are you saying?
But no, I was convinced by people in the office, by producers, that he was the guest of the moment, we must have him. And of course, they were so right. He turned out to be just the funniest guest, and he wasn't a bit uptight. I've been led to believe that he could be a bit uptight about the size of his nose.
Do you notice a similarity here? You know, what do you think? Profiles,
Barry, I never said a word.
Yeah, but I could see you thinking it. I saw it in your eyes.
Both Sarah and I agreed that it would be right to finish when people said, I can't believe that it's coming to an end. I can't believe you've both decided that you want to pack it in. There's so much more to do. And that's when we decided, 3 of us, Gordon involved, of course, that we would call it a day when everybody still wanted more.
And it felt very natural doing it that way.
This is the moment we've been dreading, when we actually go...
We go like this and say, thank you very much for your letters, your phone calls, your all about me's, your ideas. Thank you very much.
Thanks to all our guests over the years, and thanks to all our crews over the years, and thanks to Sarah. And
to Bill. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you soon. Come on.
Hello, it's 9 o'clock and you're watching BBC One for the very first edition of Live and Kicking! Woo!
It was very different being a main presenter on it, because obviously I'd always avidly watched it and that was what I was aspiring to do. So it was a really huge change for me, but it was everything It was everything and more that I thought it was going to be.
1993 saw an almost new name and an almost new lineup. Emma Forbes was promoted from the kitchen, John Barrowman sidestepped from the stage to the screen, and Andy Peters was another graduate from the mighty broom cupboard. Chuck in Trev and Simon, you've got an awful lot to pack into 3 hours and a bit.
Every week we will be here at this time for the next 7 months.
7 months?
Yeah, 7 months.
I thought it was 7 minutes.
I thought it was the 7 Seas of Rye by Queen.
When you look back at programmes such as Swap Shop, Superstore and Going Live and compare them to Live and Kicking, if you watch a tape of it, the first thing you'll notice is the speed at which Live and Kicking moves.
You are supreme. Oh, blimey. The beast lightning.
I too am a very frustrated singer. It must be something about being on Saturday mornings and being close to all those bands and everything. 'Cause I need a man. My heart is set on you. Let's shape up. You better understand.
Sing it, Emma.
To my heart I must be true.
Nothing left for me to do. You're the one and the one.
You are one ball. You are one ball.
We had this little mini, and oh well, we'd put guests in there and we'd do this fake driving test.
Oh, well, hang on a minute. If you're Jason Orange, then are you Howard Grape and Mark Apple?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you are sponsor, Mr. Ribbon.
Have you ever stroked a weasel? Have you ever stroked a weasel?
Hey, look, here's one.
Oh, hello.
Famous for 5 Minutes for me was one of the best parts of the show because it's a real opportunity to find out what is going to happen, where you sit at the edge of your seat and think, this could all go terribly, terribly wrong. Is this your house? Is this you? Hello there.
Oh my. You better stop before you go and break my heart.
Oh, Vicky, why bother to send you to the polls winners party when we've got E17 in your house right now?
Baby, you've got to go away. Don't think I could take the pain. Won't you stay another day?
If I go in the room, you'll see who we are making famous for 5 minutes. I remember the camera went and we burst into their living room and the two of them were sitting there in their pyjamas. This isn't cool. And they were quite sort of offish with me. Daryl and Sam, good morning. Daryl and Sam. There are actually a production team down there and they actually said, look, come on guys, we know you can do Smashy and Nicey and we know you do it very well. And actually 2 hours later they came back on and were fantastic.
Great, man, and I'd love to stay and chat all day, but I've got to make a move. This is Mike Smashy, bye, dang, bye, diggy, dang, bye.
Yes! And even, you know, 2 years later, Daryl came back again and happened to actually be a finalist in one of our competitions.
Hey, monkey boy, you think you can scare Emma and get away with it? No chance, puppy pants. Get out of here! Oh, Ace!
And what about those two comic geniuses, Trev and Simon, or as they become known in the footer, who?
The characters, a lot of people say, you know, where do the characters come from? And what happens is we pick them up at the bus stop, kind of down at Shepherd's Bush Green, just before we start, and they all pile in, and we push them in the dressing room, and then when they're needed, we call them out, don't we?
Yeah. But in reality, on a more serious level, they come from the dark recesses of our perverted minds.
It is Gorgon the Gopher! Look into his eyes and you will turn to Oliver Stone!
What look? And you'll turn into Sharon Stone! Oh no! Oh, I'm tempted to look. I want to look, Bulldog. I want to look.
No, don't look, don't look! Don't look, don't look! Look! No. Look at me, Bulldog! No, no, no. Look at me!
No, I looked! It's got to make us laugh. You can't try to guess what's right for an audience.
I really hope that the most intelligent person in the world would walk through that door and solve the secret.
Oh, dear. Well, I think the secret's safe for a bit, anyway.
Because there's one rule, we all abide by.
What's that?
And that, Mr. Keith Chegwin, is that we
don't
do duvets!
Actually, they don't do duvets.
They did duvets. I did believe it.
Do you have a message for us?
We don't do duvets.
Ooh, I don't know about Sting. I'll tell you something. His donkey jacket stinks. It
Oh, it
stinks.
does.
Oh,
It really
it
does
stinks.
stink.
Oh.
Some of the most memorable people I would say were people like Sting.
What's the first instrument you ever played, and how old were you?
I used to play on the linoleum.
What's the linoleum? Can you explain that? What is that?
That was a joke.
Oh. Obviously it's the floor. That made me look a bit stupid, so that was quite memorable.
How do you manage to stay looking so young and attractive?
That's not your question.
It is, Sam. You think Cher's a bit of a babe, don't you, really? Yeah, he does. He does, Cher.
How old are you?
9.
Just my age range. You just made it.
Why did you play the Christmas tree formation when it's clearly not working?
Well, I'm glad.
Amy, straight in there.
I have a trick. If I don't know the answer to the question they're asking, I slap my earpiece and I say, I can't quite hear you. But if you're asking what I think you're asking, and then I give my prepared stuff.
Can't sleep now, we're live on air. Stop sleeping.
I suppose one of the funniest moments of the Leprechauns was on Andy's last show, when we did this thing where they had a door that was a time machine.
Oh dear.
Doesn't bode well for future career for you.
Dramatic. Good evening, the headlines.
And it was to see what you'd look like in 20 years from now. And Andy didn't know anything about this, and I walked in and said, oh, I'll have a go.
That is the last show.
Hey!
Oh!
Hey!
Oh,
Has it worked? My mother came out instead. And it was just brilliant because Andy was rendered completely speechless.
Oh, I feel a much older woman.
I will miss it. I used to miss doing Live and Kicking when it wasn't on when I presented it, you know.
What will you miss most about Live and Kicking?
Emma.
Oh. Obviously having a brilliant working on-screen relationship with Andy was, you know, the key to it. You couldn't do that kind of programme if you didn't get on with your co-host.
I think I've lost my 3 winners.
You haven't. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Slide down there. I'll stay in the heart. And I shall read you. I shall read you my 3. It's very, very difficult. In fact, I would say it's virtually impossible to find a job that is as much fun or the same sort of unique atmosphere.
So the BBC have achieved 20 years of Saturday morning broadcast, and I'm sure there's another 20 left. It's got to evolve. Providing it evolves, providing it keeps up with what the audience want and delivers quality, I think it could go on forever.
And I'll see you in September.
Bye-bye.
Live and Kicking. Live and Kicking.